Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the University of New Haven's Career Development Center workshop series. My name is Omar Kost. I'm a peer career advisor at this Career Development Center, and today's workshop is going to be on LinkedIn. So let's put it in slide mode. Okay. All right. So before we go deep on LinkedIn, let's take a step back and think about what is social media. So please pause the video for a couple of seconds, answer that question, and then press play. Okay, so social media is websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. And the key term here to notice is networking, which is the most important term. Okay. So what is social media? What are different platforms of social media? Where there's a ton of platforms that we use every day, from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all these platforms. But for a professional platform, we're going to be using LinkedIn because it's the professional platform. And today's agenda, we're going to cover what is LinkedIn. We're going to talk about facts about LinkedIn, the uses of LinkedIn. We're going to go through how to set up your profile, how to choose a good photo. We're going to talk about the main sections on LinkedIn and how to create a strong profile so you can increase your viewability. And then we're going to go through a live example and review, which I think is going to be fun. So let's take a step in and answer what is LinkedIn. So again, please pause the video for a couple seconds. Think about what LinkedIn means for you and then press play. So LinkedIn is a social platform for anybody and everybody who's interested in taking their professional life more seriously by looking for new opportunities to grow their careers and to connect with other professionals. And quick facts about LinkedIn and on why you should be using LinkedIn. Let me tell you that LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network on the internet. It has currently more than 600 million users, and the network has more than 300 million active monthly users. A study found that 122 million people received an interview just by using LinkedIn, and 35 million have been hired by a person they connected to through the site. So that tells you something about how powerful LinkedIn can be if you use it in the right way. It also aligns perfectly with the Google search algorithm. So let's say that you have a strong LinkedIn profile, you're an active user, use it every day. So when you start Googling yourself, the first thing on top that's going to pop out is your LinkedIn profile. So it's basically the perfect place to manage your personal brand. It also surpasses Facebook when it comes to business marketing, as it's the most commonly used social network for business owners. So if you own a business, you create your LinkedIn profile, it's going to help you a lot and it's going to help your business. Okay. So the uses of LinkedIn, usually the main or the primary use for LinkedIn is to get a job or to recruit someone. So usually it's to find and apply to jobs. You use your profile as your digital interactive resume. Also, quick note about this, when you apply for a company using your resume, when the recruiter is interested in your resume, the first thing they look for is your LinkedIn profile. That's why you should have a LinkedIn profile and it's updated. Other reasons could be connecting to a recruiter or someone who works at the company you're applying for. I personally do that when I apply for a company that I'm really interested in. I usually try to look up for someone who works there, connect with them, and then ask them a couple of questions about the company, the culture, and figure out whether it's the right fit for me or not. This is usually a good way to talk to someone in the company. You can also use it to get back in touch with all old colleagues. We have one of the biggest alumni networks on LinkedIn for the University of New Haven. So if you have a profile on LinkedIn, make sure to follow the University of New Haven's page. It's a good way to connect with your classmates, professors, colleagues, and it's also a good way to connect with someone from there if they are working at a company that you're currently interviewing at. So that's a good way to do it. You can also find and connect with professionals. You can learn a new skill through LinkedIn Learning. Quick fact here, LinkedIn Learning is one of the top 10 best online learning websites. The good thing here for the University of New Haven's students, we get free access through our email to LinkedIn Learning. So a very, very good way to take advantage of that free access to, grow your skills, learn something new, and develop yourself. You can also participate in relevant groups. So if you're interested in a specific topic, you can join groups who have similar interests and talk about it. You can also blog about what you know and write posts that also increases your viewability and it tells the people in your network what kind of person you are, what kind of interests you have and passions. Okay, so let's start by setting up your profile, and the first thing that we usually do is to choose an appropriate photo. So how do we identify an appropriate photo? Usually it's a photo with a plain background, no group photos. Usually it's headshots from the shoulders up, and also try to wear something professional, whether it's a blazer, shirt, something not very distracting. Also smile. Friendly faces draw more attention to your profile. And when in doubt, of course, the more professional, the better. Just a quick note here, a study found that professional photos get 17 times more views. So that's one of the facts that I wanted to list here. So what's not professional? So these are all examples of non-professional photos. Photos of you at the bar, photos with you and your dog, photos of you cooking in the kitchen, group photos. Again, we said this is not appropriate. Photos at the beach, random photos that you have. These might be good for your Facebook or Tinder profile, but certainly not appropriate for your professional or LinkedIn. So the second thing to create a strong profile is to have a headline, and usually a headline is very important for you, and it should be interesting and genuine. And you have to tell more about yourself just than a University of New Haven student, because the headline follows you when you do anything, and it follows your whole profile, and it also tells the people what you know. So it's basically your niche. So if you're a marketing student, you want to identify yourself in the headline that you have certain marketing skills. If you're a computer science or software engineer, you want to show your skills in that field. So make sure to place emphasis on your keywords. For example, I'm a finance student, so I would include, for example, finance, analytics, analysis, anything related to my field. And here's a few examples of people using their keywords and headline. So for example, Tristan here has a 3D, he's a 3D animator, environment artist, digital artist, and he's seeking entry-level opportunity. And this is another important thing that we want to talk about. When you're open to opportunities, you want to make sure you state that in your headline. And it's a good way for recruiters to find you. So let's move on. That's headlines. The summary. So the summary of your profile should describe you and should describe what's next. So usually you want to demonstrate your skills, motivation, and interests. Again, you want to highlight your niche and expertise. So if you have a specific skill or like you're in a specific field, you want to highlight the skills and experience you have in that field in your summary. You want to showcase also your personality. It's more personable than your summary of qualifications on your resume. So make sure to showcase your personality. It's almost similar like your elevator pitch, and it's something that you should have. Don't use bullets on your summary. It should be narrative. Don't brag. Make sure your information is accurate and informative. Don't include anything that won't help you. So it's basically you in a nutshell, just like the meme here. Okay. Main sections. So the sections that we have on LinkedIn is almost the same as your resume. So we have an experience section. Usually you would include your full-time job, whether a part-time job, internship, volunteering, if it's related to your field or major. If it's an unpaid internship, you should include that too. You want to include all the experiences that's relevant to your major or your field. So what's the difference between resume and LinkedIn profile? So your resume is usually updated and shared when you're in active job search mode, while the primary function of LinkedIn is to create a professional network. A new job might be an outcome, but it's usually not the only goal. So you're kind of building a professional network that will help you in the future, whether it's to get a job, whether it's start a business, find partners, and many other things. You want to focus in your experience section on the value you deliver. What have you contributed in the past? Be strategic about describing your qualifications and skills to maximize the usefulness of the LinkedIn search and scanning software. Again, keywords in your experience section. So when the recruiters are looking for a specific skill, they can find you through keywords. It also can be in a more social tone than your formal resume. Again, remember that you're building a professional social network. So let's take a look at an example here that we have. So here is someone who is a peer advisor at Boston College. He included the time frame, the location that he's working at, and 3 bullet points that explains his accomplishment within his position. He also included an internship that he had in the past and also the time frame and the location. He included the impact he had and the tasks that he had. In addition to that, he showed an example of his work. So also you can do that if you have examples of your work or projects that you worked on, you can include that in your experience section. Okay, so moving on. Main sections. The other main sections you want to make sure you get it right is your education section. So usually you would include your school, the location of your school. Make sure if you're in a University of New Haven student, the location is West Haven, Connecticut. You want to put your major and your graduation date. Also, you want to list the most recent education you have first, and then go backwards in the past. Include all summer programs, awards and honors, and all the activities and events they were participating in on campus. Additional sections on your LinkedIn profile would be the organizations you're part of, skills and expertise that you have, honors and awards again, courses or projects that you've worked on, and volunteering and community work. And a quick note here, the more information that you provide on LinkedIn, the more updated your profile is on LinkedIn, the higher or the stronger your profile will be, and the higher viewability you will get. So grow your network. And that's what the whole point you want to use LinkedIn for, is to grow your network. Make sure to have a lot of connections, make sure to have a lot of references and connections. So you want to start by growing your network, by connecting to your friends and your family. So your first connections will be your inner circle. And then you can move on to your classmates, colleagues, professors, alumni. You can also join groups and common interest pages and connect with the people there. You can start by posting content that showcases your personality and your professional interests. Again, only content that is professional. Don't share your weekend at the bar. Don't share your spring break in Miami. No one wants to see that on LinkedIn. Again, you'll find by doing all those things that your network will start growing organically. You're going to start having more views, and of course, if you're looking for a job, that's going to increase the probability of that. Okay, so let's dive into profile examples. It's talking time. And by the way, when you start looking at someone's profile, usually they get a note of who's looking at their profile. So if you are looking at someone's profile, they're going to get a notification that you are looking at them. So just to note here that. So let's start by going to my LinkedIn. Okay. So this is usually the first page that you would get when you log in on LinkedIn. It's usually your feed. It's kind of similar to Facebook feed, but it's filled up with your network's posts, your groups that you joined, their posts about it. So you can scroll down, you can find interesting topics. Also, you can find ads, of course. So topics, common interests, usually the top things that will pop on your feed are things that's very relevant to you and things that you're actively looking at. So let's start by reviewing profiles. So we can check out my profile first. It's not the best in the world, but I'm still working on it. So you can see here I have a headshot photo with a plain background wearing a suit. Usually that's very relevant to me because I am in the finance industry and it's a very professional industry. So that's why I'm wearing a suit. Sometimes if you're working in tech or marketing, a t-shirt or a polo would be fine. So my headline here includes Masters of Finance student, actively seeking full-time opportunities because I'm graduating in May. I'm part of the pandemic class of 2020. So I'm including that I'm looking for jobs so employers can know that I'm applying for jobs. And if they're looking for applicants, they can, reach out to me. Another thing is keywords. So finance and analytics, that's again my niche. I'm also doing CFA level 2, which is an exam for finance professionals, again, highlighting my niche. And then your summary section, which is again stating your background, your skills, highlighting your niche, and showing what's next. So I'm talking here about my experiences in the past, what I'm currently doing, and what I'm passionate about. A new feature that's added by LinkedIn is called Featured. And here you can post all your awards, photos, certificates, things that you earned. So for example, here I have my level 1 badge for the exam I passed, a photo from a competition that we had. We got the 3rd place here. And again, another certificate for a course that I taken here on LinkedIn. And then your dashboard will usually tell you how strong your profile is. So usually All-Star is the highest level of profile strength. So if your profile you're still working on it, it might say weak or intermediate. So make sure to get it to be All-Star. It tells you also how many people viewed your profile, how many post views that you got, and how many times you were looked up on search. And here is your activity. So these are things that I've posted, things that I've wrote, articles that I've shared, and the experience section. So as you see here, I worked at the University of New Haven. I'm a peer career advisor. I'm also an institutional research graduate assistant. The only thing that would be missing here is the content of my positions. So don't do that. Just include your tasks and your impacts in your position. This is something that I'm working on right now. Again, other previous positions, so internships, again, internships, and then the education section. So I have my University of New Haven education here. I have the time frame when I'm graduating and all the awards and honors that I have. And then you have a section for licenses and certifications. These are all the certifications and licenses that I've earned on LinkedIn or outside LinkedIn that you can share on LinkedIn. Volunteering experience, skills and endorsements. So when you include your skills here, someone, a connection of you might come in and endorse you for that skill. A section called accomplishments. Here you can include the languages that you speak. Again, honors and awards, you can include stuff here. Keep in mind, there's a lot of things that could be repeated several times, and that's totally fine. So if you include your honors and awards in your education section, you can include it again here. It's totally fine. And then the interests that you have, all the the pages that you like and all the people that you follow will pop out here. So that's my profile. It's not perfect, still working on it. Let's look at someone else's LinkedIn profile. So I'm gonna go to Matt Caporal, the director of the Career Development Center. So as you can see here, Matt has a professional photo, plain background, professional clothing, a shirt and a blazer. His headline here is the executive director of the Career Development Center at the University of New Haven. So it shows what he's doing and what's his niche. He's not looking for opportunities, so you'll not find this here. It also includes his location, which is in the greater New York City area. A quick note here, so if you're from Connecticut, Rhode Island, or like somewhere around the tri-state area, make sure to include greater New York City area or like the bigger place that you're at. Don't include like only the city, so you won't limit your opportunities outside your city. Make sure to include a larger area. So the bigger your borders are, the more chances of getting an opportunity. So you're limiting yourself if you only put here, like, for example, West Haven, you're kind of limiting yourself when employers are looking for someone in New York. So again, the summary and the about section. So Matt is the executive director of the Career Development Center. Creating career centers is Matt's niche. He's in the higher education industry, so this is his niche. So everything here will explain his skills and expertise in that field. Again, the featured section, the activity, experiences. So Matt is the executive director, and here you can find out the impact that he had during his tenure here at the University of New Haven. Again, previous experiences, education section, skills and endorsements. So things that Matt is good at is career counseling, career development, higher education. And you can see here that everyone can endorse you for that skills. Again, you can get recommendation. You can ask for recommendations from your supervisor, your colleagues, and then interests. So let's go to another profile. One of our career peer career advisors, student at the University of New Haven, Samantha Roth. Again, a headshot, clean headshot, basic background, heads to shoulder to heads. Peer career advisor at the University of New Haven. That's what Sam's currently doing. Greater New York City area. That's where she's currently residing at. Again, her niche or like her summary. So she's an undergrad student athlete with business management degree. Currently playing in the soccer team, and she's the captain, working at the Career Development Center. So she's listing all the skills that she has and her previous experiences, and she's kind of pushing towards her niche. So you want to make sure that everything in your profile is your niche and it's your part of, and it's your skill or your expertise section. Again, the experiences section, she listed her experience at the University of New Haven as a peer career advisor, her previous internships, her previous work experience, and the education. Again, skills and endorsements, recommendations, accomplishments, and then interests. So this is a quick review on all the profiles that you have. Let's check in on how can you look for jobs. So if you're looking for jobs, we can click here on the jobs button. And then LinkedIn will primarily show you the jobs that you're a top applicant at, or the jobs that are more relevant or most relevant to your field. So if you're looking for a computer science job or a software engineering job, so you can say software engineer here, and then locations, you want to specify what location you're looking for jobs into. So let's say New York City, let's say New York City metropolitan area to get a bigger span. And here you're gonna have a lot of job opportunities. It says here that you have 12,000 results for software engineer in New York City metropolitan area. So you can narrow down that list by things that you find more relevant to you. So I can sort that by posts that have been posted for the past 24 hours. And that's going to put them down to 395 results. I can also include the companies that I'm only looking for. So if I'm looking only for a specific type of company or a specific company that I want to work for, I can, basically type the name of the company here. You can also add your experience level. So for example, if we're only looking at entry-level opportunities, you can check that box and click on apply. And it's going to show for you the most relevant jobs for software engineers in an entry-level experience. If you click on all filters here, it's going to give you more filters to search for jobs. So if you want to look by the date posted, the salary, the job type, whether it's a full-time internship, volunteering, locations, the exact company or the exact industry, the job function, experience level, the title for the job, and benefits for the job. So these are all filters that you can use to narrow down your search if you're looking for a specific job. Okay, and that's wrapped for the job search. Again, if you want to look at your feed, you're going to find the most relevant topics for you. On the right-hand side, you can see the news and the special news. So right now, the only news we're getting on is about the coronavirus. So you can see news about that. Here you can see all the top news today. LinkedIn Learning, we talked about this. So here you have the button you want to click on if you want to go to the LinkedIn Learning. So let's take a quick look at that. So if I look on LinkedIn Learning, It's going to give you a weekly goal. So if you have a weekly goal, you want to, turn it on. So I have like 60 minutes per week to learn something. And that's a goal that I have. You can make it 120 minutes, 30 minutes. It's based on your discretion. And I have here like the courses that are in progress, saved courses. You can look up by the skills that you want to learn. So if you're looking for something creative, like for example, you want to learn how to design things, or you're into photography, so you can click on photography. It's gonna basically show you all the courses on photography. And on the left-hand side here, you can narrow it down by the things that you're looking for. And that's basically it for the live review of LinkedIn. So let's go back to our presentation. Okay, presentation. Okay. Where's my mouse? Okay. So that's where we stopped. Why is it doing this? You share. Share. Okay. So yeah, those are the profile examples that we had today in the live review. And that's basically it for the LinkedIn today. If you have any questions or concerns about LinkedIn or any other thing related to career development, make sure to email us on careerdevelopmentcenter@newhaven.edu. Stay connected with us. So we have our Instagram page, which is New Haven CDC. We post content there every day about our workshops, our office hours, and all the events that we have going on. So make sure to follow us on Instagram. Also make sure to follow the page on LinkedIn, the University of New Haven, which is where all the alumni, all the professors, everyone from the school is at. Also make sure to follow our page, which is University of New Haven Career Connect on LinkedIn. That's a separate page. Make sure to follow it and join it. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, if you need any help with LinkedIn, resumes, cover letter, job searching, anything like that, make sure to email us at that email here. We are here for you. It's a tough time, but we're going to get through this. Yep, and that's it. These are all the Career Development Center services. So make sure to utilize that. And thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Omar Kosh, and this was the LinkedIn workshop. Thank you.